Imagine a chilly December night in South Carolina. The holiday lights illuminate quiet streets, but in one young woman's world, something dark is about to unfold. Heather Elvis, just 20 years old, a vibrant soul with dreams and friends, steps into the unknown that night and vanishes without a trace. Tonight, we're diving deep into the mysterious disappearance of Heather Elvis, uncovering every twist and turn, every phone call, and every shadowy drive. Stay with me as we piece together what happened and why her story still captivates so many years later. Who was Heather Elvis? Heather wasn't just a missing person to her family and friends. She was their heart. Born in 1993, Heather grew up in the close-knit community of Horry County, South Carolina, the eldest of two sisters. Bright, ambitious, full of life, she graduated from St. James High School. Then, she stepped out on her own, renting an apartment in the Carolina Forest neighborhood. Life wasn't always easy. Balancing work and study, she juggled jobs at local eateries, the Tilted Kilt, the House of Blues, while chasing a dream in cosmetology. Those who knew her describe Heather as hopeful, ready to build a life, a dreamer with a sparkle in her eye. The key: relationships. Now every puzzle has its pieces, and Heather's life was no different. One piece was Sidney Moorer, a 37-year-old repairman with a tangled web of secrets. Heather met Sidney through work, a man married with children, but drawn into a forbidden affair. Picture this: late-night texts, secret meetings, a relationship fueled by passion, but shadowed by turmoil. But then enters Tammy Moorer, Sidney's wife, fierce, protective, deeply hurt. When Tammy discovered the affair, her response was intense. A storm of confrontational texts, relentless attempts to sever Heather from Sidney's life. It was a toxic triangle, escalating day by day. Jealousy, control, desperation, all weaving into a dangerous mix. The night of disappearance. It was December 17th, 2013. Heather decided to try to move on. A fresh start with a new man, Stephen Schiraldi. Imagine the laughter, the joy, as they drove around, admiring festive Christmas lights. Stephen even taught Heather how to drive a manual car in the quiet lot of Inlet Square Mall. The night felt hopeful. By 1:15 a.m., Stephen dropped her off at her Carolina Forest apartment. He was the last person to see her alive. But then things grew eerie. At 1:35 a.m., a call came from a nearby payphone to Heather's phone. A call linked to Sidney, according to investigators. Over the next hour, Heather's phone pinged from various locations until finally, it disappeared near a wildlife refuge. And ever since, Heather's been nowhere to be found. Discovery and early investigation. 2 days later, a chilling discovery. Heather's green Dodge Intrepid was found at Peachtree Landing, a quiet boat ramp miles from her home. The car was locked, abandoned, but inside, no keys, no purse, no phone, just emptiness, belongings gone, pointing to something sinister. Police launched an urgent missing persons investigation. Days turned into weeks, searching rivers, woods, beyond. No clues, no trace of Heather. Only silence, haunting silence, gripping a community desperate for answers. Evidence and the Moorers' involvement. Clues surfaced, piece by piece. Cell phone records showed Heather's phone making calls, moving suspiciously in the hours after her disappearance. But was she the one using it? Surveillance footage added another layer. A dark truck, later identified as Sidney Moorer's, caught driving to and from the boat landing that very night. Then came the explosive phone messages, Tammy's threats, Sidney's denials, accusations, flying back and forth. The tangled relationships spilled into public view. Suspicion mounted around the Moorers, and the question lingered: what role did they play in Heather's fate? Arrests, trials, and legal outcomes. Months later, justice seemed within reach. On a cold February day, police descended on the Moorers' home. arresting Sidney and Tammy on charges of murder, kidnapping, obstruction of justice, even indecent exposure. The courtroom battles were fierce, complicated, a hung jury here, charges dropped there. Eventually, Sidney was convicted of kidnapping and obstruction. Tammy, convicted of conspiracy. Appeals followed, but the convictions stood. And yet, even with verdicts in hand, the full truth remained elusive, buried beneath conflicting stories and unanswered questions. Unanswered questions and ongoing controversy. Despite the convictions, Heather's body has never been found. Was she harmed? Where is she now? The community remains divided. Tammy painted Heather as an obsessive stalker. Heather's friends describe a young woman just trying to escape a toxic spiral. Online, the fight rages on. Families scarred by harassment, threats, endless speculation. Heather's story is far from over. A haunting reminder that truth is tangled and closure heartbreakingly out of reach. Key takeaways and lessons. Heather Elvis's disappearance is more than a cold case. It's a cautionary tale about the consequences of broken trust, the power of digital footprints, and the ripple effects of pain in communities. It reminds us to listen carefully, to protect our loved ones, to pursue justice even when answers feel impossible to reach. If Heather's story touched you, please like and share this video to keep her memory alive and spread awareness about missing persons. Drop a comment below with your thoughts or your questions. We want to hear from you. Subscribe and ring the notification bell for more true crime deep dives. Together, let's seek justice for Heather Elvis and for every lost soul still waiting to be found.